Hello there.
This is where the fun begins.
I am always thinking of new dreams.
ジョージ・ルーカス
I dream of visions which have
彼は
yet to be seen,
いつも新しい夢を考えてきた。
which have not yet been
見たこ
heard.
とのないものを
From dreams,
聞いたことのない
create
音
a
を
new reality.
現実の形にしてきた。
In this universe, new dreams and new friends.
この宇宙は新しい夢と仲間でいっぱいだ。
Panasonic, always new dreams, wonderful friends.
パナソニック、いつも新しい夢、素晴らしい仲間。
Panasonic, Itsumo, something.
Hello there. Kyle Katarn here, and welcome to the Dork Forces podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Bendu will be along shortly. He'll be joining us momentarily. You know, I think that might be my favorite of all the vintage Japanese George Lucas commercials, of which there are a surprising amount. I think that one's my favorite because it's just an absolute fever dream the entire time. Like, what is going on? Oh man, how's it going, everybody? Hello there. Yes, Star Wars Celebration is absolutely happening this year. It's happening very soon, actually, in London. No, the news just came out that it will not be happening next year. 2024, everyone kind of assumed it would just continue as normal, but I'm pretty sure that they used to have gap years back in the olden days. I wouldn't actually know. My very first time was last year, 2022. Hold on, I have here it is. Yeah, so this is the statement that we were given. There's no fan event quite like Star Wars Celebration, devoted solely to the galaxy far, far away and produced by Lucasfilm. Yeah, so it's coming April 7th through 9th in London of this year. With the next Star Wars Celebration not taking place until 2025, you'll have plenty of time to work on your cosplay, refine your Wookiee roar, etc. But yeah, this is now official. This is from the StarWars.com team. No Star Wars Celebration until 2025. I'm not sure how to feel about that, honestly. Yeah, I'll definitely see you there. In a way, it's kind of a reprieve. It allows everybody an extra year to save up if money's the thing holding you back from being able to go. So I think that's kind of awesome and kind of fortuitous. However, for the people that are able to go every single year, it sucks having to have that extra 12 months in between. I get that. I totally get that. Yes, agreed. Also, hello there. Yeah, no, all is good on our end. Bendu's just running a little late. He'll be here very soon. You know, it will and it won't. It will and it won't, honestly, because I'm pretty sure that we will still have, subsequent series coming out, and there'll be a lot of Star Wars to watch for the first time that year. And we'll probably be getting a lot of announcements, but less like major things dropping, such as like movies. We don't know what movies are coming yet, if even any movies are coming right now. Honestly, I'm kind of expecting some announcements along those lines at Star Wars Celebration in London. Unfortunately, I won't be there, so I'll be sitting at home on Twitter, refreshing like a mad person. Yes, that's right. Star Wars Visions Season 2 is dropping on May 4th. I'm very excited about that. I actually recently rewatched Visions again earlier in the month, and man, The Ninth Jedi, such a good story. Could absolutely be expanded into its own series, or at least a feature-length film. I would love that. It would be very, very cool. Oh my God, yes, Captain Wrecked. Thank you again for the excellent review. I don't have it handy, or I'd play it right now on the air, but it was great. You know, could be for a number of different reasons, but I am assuming that they're just sort of giving everybody a breather, and maybe it lines up with the fact that there's some sort of productions going on during 2024 that we don't know about yet, that would make it impractical for a bunch of people to be able to make appearances because everyone will be working on it. Not sure though. Oh, and here he is, never late as a proper wizard, arriving right when he means to. Hello there, Bendu. How you doing?
You know, in good con nervousness, I made the mistake of like, oh, you know, I should cut my hair and like try to make myself presentable
Oh dear.
now beforehand, and then
Oh,
like
no.
in that
I don't like
I
where this
just
is
made
going.
everything too short. In my nervousness, I've now fucked everything up, and I've made everything too short. So
it
now
doesn't look that bad. It doesn't
now
look that
I'm, like,
bad at all.
refusing. So now I'm like refusing to touch my face and not shave until like I actually like almost get to Seattle, or it's like almost days
You got to cultivate
leave.
that beard.
Yeah, so I'm trying like not to touch anything. I went from Doctor Strange to Doctor Who, and I'm not about it.
I'm laughing with you. I'm not laughing at you. I don't think it looks that bad.
I just tell myself
do a little side to side for the people. What do you guys think? His hair looks pretty good.
So it's too short. It's just everything. It's too short. It looks
good. You're like a young, slick Doctor Strange.
Yeah,
you know,
it's makes my forehead look big. It makes my forehead look.
Cal H thinks it looks good, so
pisses me off, man. Pisses me off.
It's true. They're both doctors. Either way, you still come out of it with a medical degree. So, well, was Doctor Who a medical doctor?
No, he wasn't an actual.
I don't know if he was.
Well, technically, he was a wartime doctor during like the Time Lord Wars. Like he was a medic.
Okay.
He was a medic in a way, but like, yeah, he just sort of took that name. But yeah. Emerald City's only a week and a half away. It's crazy.
It's very, very soon.
So there's tonight. So thank you again, everyone who's watching live with us, and thank you everyone who's going to be watching this later on throughout the week. So there's this podcast, there's next week, and then there's going to be the entirety of the introduction of March, really.
And man, is it going to come out swinging, because not only are we going to be going to Emerald City that first weekend, we're getting more Bad Batch, we're getting Mando premiere all at the same time.
So the way I was thinking about this calendar wise is that Tuesday night at midnight, right? We'll watch Bad Batch like normal, and then I will sleep for maybe 3 or 4 hours, and then drive to the Uber to the airport, meet up with you 3.5 hours later, and then Wednesday, like during the day,
and then we're watching Mando.
We'll do Mando. Yeah, that way we can prioritize our reactions, prioritize the energize, and
I think that's the most important thing to do, because I don't know how long I can physically wait before I watch it. You know, I think just the knowledge that it is out and I could just push a button and get the next chapter is going to burn a hole in my head.
Unless you want to do. I mean, I don't know.
No. We've got a good plan. Let's not rock the boat a week out. I think it's going to work. I think it's going to work for the best if we do Mando in person.
Unfortunately, speaking of things working out and inherently not working out, along with like cutting my hair too fucking short out of nervousness, I don't think Moon Knight's going to come in time. And unfortunately, the person who's making my cloak of levitation just caught the COVID.
I think you need to very quickly clarify for all the people listening right now what exactly you mean by Moon Knight's not going to come in time, because people do not have context, and that could be taken a lot of different ways.
My Moon Knight cosplay isn't going to arrive in time in the mail. It's not going to get here in time in order for me to like find proper footwear for it and remake the cape in a way that's, not semi see-through, I suppose.
Well, that can be a blessing in disguise, because it can give you more time to really work on it and get it perfect. And if it did arrive just before you leave, maybe you would be like feeling the pressure and you'd rush it and make a mistake. So it might be for the best, you know?
Well, the plan with that one, because we'd still be hanging out Wednesday and Thursday before Con Friday. So my plan was like I would at least get the jumpsuit and get everything within the mail, and then when we're in Seattle, hit up the Joann's Fabrics. You know,
Joann's. Yeah, I think there's still
Hit up the
Joann's Fabrics
Joann's.
around town. I've been there a long time.
But yeah. That was the idea. I know Conchu is even behind me too. Like we tried, but I didn't account for Chinese New Year getting in the way of production plans. But that's my bad.
Everyone bought all the fabric.
My bad. That's my bad.
No, it's all good. Slow and steady wins the race. And if it doesn't come in time, you'll just be ready for the next one, and it'll be much more like dialed in because you'll have had much more time to work on it.
But it'll just be
No
like
stress
my
about it.
normal.
No stress about it.
It'll just be like my normal strange cloak, though. I was like really excited. I'm still holding out hope, but at the same time, it's like I don't want to try to get my hopes up on the cloak of levitation, but it's there. It's there, man. I want it. I fucking want it so bad.
It's just flying instead of it being in a box on a truck on its way. It's actually just like flying to you right now. But it's caught in a backdraft. Can't get there.
But for
Save
sure,
it for Celebration 2025. Yes, exactly. And that's a perfect segue. Just before you joined, we were talking about the fact that Star Wars Celebration has decided to take a gap year. And there will not be one in 2024. What are your thoughts on that? What do you think?
Wait, hold on. Let me read this shit. So after the Europe one, they're just going to skip a whole year?
That's correct. That's correct. London's happening this year. And then the next celebration takes place in 2025 in an unyet disclosed location.
And it could be across seas or not across seas. Okay, so hold on. So
it's probably going to be a domestic one this year, or in 2025. It's probably going to be in the United States.
London. Here are 5 reasons you may want to take the plunge. If you can't join us this year, it's going to take place not taking until 2025. Plenty of time to work on cosplay. Blah blah blah.
And this comes from the StarWars.com team. So this is
no, I believe it. That's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, whoever like
a lot of people saying Orlando. Yep.
I wouldn't wear Moon Knight or Strange to Star Wars Celebration. That'd be extremely, utterly out of place. But I mean, so there's a good side to this. Either A, it helps us save up money so that we can do more celebrity meet and greets and more celebrity photo ops. Really, that's the only A I got. B, I mean, yeah, it sucks that we have to wait a whole year, but at the same time, what we could do next year, 2024, that just means Galaxy's Edge, motherfucker.
That's true. We could finally be able to go to Star Wars Night at Galaxy's Edge for once, which I'm bummed I still don't have tickets for. Tickets went on sale for that today. I don't think I'm going to be able to get down there in May, so I don't get to go this year. But that's true. That could be a 2024 goal. We could both go.
Because I still need to build a saber in the first place.
That's true. We need to get you down to the workshop, build you one. And I want to build another one too, because the one that I built, none of the components that I wanted were available. And I didn't know that you could go over to the workshop and buy them independently. I didn't know that at the time.
It's your Padawan saber. Yeah, no, you got to make your
I do believe that they have skipped a year before. That's how it used to be back in the day.
I guess so, because they had a lot of them at Disney World in Florida for a lot of them.
I wouldn't know because I went to my first one last year in Anaheim.
But I mean, we've watched previous ones though, and they've usually been in Florida, is what I'm saying.
Well, speaking of which, that seems to be the big speculation right now. Where is it going to be in 2025? Do you think it's going to be in Florida? Do you think it's going to be in Orlando? They've got Disney World down there.
Because the last rumor we heard was that it was going to be somewhere in either Iowa or Idaho. You know, it was going to be some Midwestern state or some shit.
You kept saying Idaho. I never heard anyone. I never heard anyone say Idaho.
Yeah, it was bullshit.
Who on the floor? Who on the floor is saying this? If it's the Gontroid, if it's the drunk guy, I don't know. So I think that was a game of telephone happening because I never heard Idaho, and that would be a weird. I feel like that'd be a weird choice. No offense to Idaho. If you're listening from Idaho, I'm not dissing you right now. I'm just saying it's a random ass state to choose for Star Wars Celebration.
It's true. It's true.
California makes sense because Lucasfilm is in California, you know,
and Disney.
Yes, and London makes sense because Pinewood Studios. That's also where they make the Star Wars. So both of those locations are kind of steeped in Star Wars history anyway. So it really does feel natural to go within any of those. But then Orlando, it's been in Orlando before, right? And I think before.
Yeah, but fuck Florida at the moment. With all due respect. Your government,
with all due respect,
your politicians suck at the moment, and current.
There's bad blood between Disney and Florida government right now, so that is actually valid. That's a valid point. So that might get in the way of it going to Orlando, which would be a bummer. Fans in Florida deserve to have Star Wars Celebration. Like,
could be in New York. They could hold it in the same convention center as New York Comic Con.
That could be dope. I would love it. I would love it if we get that in Aotearoa. That'd be so good. I would love an excuse to just go back there and also get Star Wars Celebration.
It'd be even more expensive than London. Not even like spending money in New Zealand. It would be the expense of getting over there in the first place would be what's so freaking expensive.
I give you all the rights to that clip, my voice for it. Anything you like to use. Oh, Captain Rex, you're the best, man. I love you, dude. In fact, you know what? I'm gonna find that. Can you send me a fresh copy of it right now on Twitter, and I will download it and put it on the thing so I can play it for people? Because
I was gonna say a voice clip of what?
He did a voice promo for us.
Oh, that's right.
After one guy on Twitter said that we were the shittiest podcast like in the world.
God, the delivery of ass. I loved you so much. Like the way that
just wait, because I'm gonna once I get my hands on it, I'm gonna play it for the nice folks.
And like reading the conversation that was happening on Twitter, like I it was one, super cringy. B, pretty sure the dude was a troll the whole time. Like I really wanted to like respond for you in a lot of instances, and then I saw by the very end of the conversation, he had blocked you. First off, dude's fucking name was Jake Sully, and he had a picture of goddamn Avatar character. So fuck
you know what? He really likes Avatar, and you can't hate on a man for loving the blue people. You know, he found his niche. That's his passion. And I didn't know that he blocked me. I don't actually care. I blocked him first, so I cut the conversation. As soon as I realized what was happening, I was like, "Oh, this is not worth anybody's time," and just sort of cut my losses. But then, yeah, we got this amazing promo. Okay, excellent. It's been sent. Let me go grab that real quick.
It's so gorgeous. I just.
Yeah, no. For the record, your hair looks great, by the way. I don't think you need to worry at all.
Thanks. The anxiety. My brain's been giving me some bullshit the last couple days.
You know what? I know how that goes, and I'm very sorry to hear it. I feel you, man.
But I think part of it might be just like because my body doesn't know how to process happiness necessarily, because what's it called? Serotonin's a motherfucker. So I think part of it's just like I'm freaking out and I'm feeling really anxious, but that's because I'm excited for what's happening. You know,
that can happen sometimes. You know, sometimes positive things can overwhelm you and you can interpret it negatively just on a reflex, you know, just because that's what you have practiced doing. And I don't know. You know what? It's easy to take for granted all the things that you do have going on. That's the kind of the nature of the disease in a lot of ways. You know, it stops you from being able to see clearly.
The acceptance of what I'm feeling or what other people is feeling, but still recognizing that like everything is valid. It's just how you.
I have not seen that
official clip of Mando 3. Are we talking about? Oh, okay. Truth be told, I have not seen the full Mando clip yet. I have seen, obviously, the GIF clip of Grogu using the Force to push himself in the rolly chair. But truth be told, I have not seen the little.
That's pretty much what it was.
2-minute clip.
That's pretty much what it was. Here is the ad that I was just talking about. The promo, yeah.
The promo.
Check out
review.
The Dork Forces podcast and see what the critics have been raving about. Loser with a Star Wars podcast that's fucking ass. Some guy on Twitter.
Loser.
That's The Dork Forces.
So yeah, this is our first official accolade on this
like,
hallowed
so
podcast.
Like,
Loser with a Star Wars podcast that's fucking ass.
Like,
and you know what? I'm putting it on the fridge. I don't even care.
That's a great review. Oh my god!
One more time.
Like it's shit.
Check out the Dork Forces podcast and see what the critics have been raving about. Loser with a Star Wars podcast that's fucking ass. Some guy on Twitter. That's the Dork Forces podcast, now on YouTube.
Like that, like it fucking kills me every time. Oh, I love you so much.
Oh man! Shout out to Captain Wreck.
That feels so
Dude,
good.
you nailed it.
But yeah. But like the fact that in hindsight, it's some fucking Twitter troll who has like 16 followers and not even a picture of his real fucking self, just a picture of fucking Jake Sully from Avatar. Like, not even a real fucking
These are all things that you see that indicate to you that you shouldn't be taking this seriously.
Oh god, it's so good. Yeah. It's so good.
Oh man. You don't need an AI to have you Lauren say it, man. Just do an impression. Just be like, a loser with a Star Wars podcast that's fucking ass.
Like it reminds me of the fucking one of the characters from fucking Tron Uprising. The assistant dude who was like all up in Jeff Bridges, all up in Clue's ass, and he was like the assistant character, and he's like the users. And I
don't remember that
user here.
I need to rewatch that movie. It's been a long time.
Yeah, no. Tron Uprising is a fucking masterpiece. It's essentially an hour and a half long Daft Punk music video, but like it's so good. It's so good. And then Korra, god damn it, Korra is just like the cyberpunk
with a Star Wars
girl of my dreams. Yeah, no, Korra is just like the cyberpunk girl of my dreams. And then fucking Jeff Bridges as like Jedi electro techno sage, like fucking Kevin Flynn. Like it's such a great underrated movie. So
yeah, I need to watch it again because I haven't seen it in like 10 years. When did that come out?
Oh, it's so good. Yeah, everyone,
we have a final
in the chat right now, and everyone watching, check out Tron Uprising, or not Uprising, because I think that was the TV show. Legacy? Tron Legacy? Yeah.
Tron Legacy sounds like that was the movie. Yeah, Tron Legacy, I'm pretty sure.
So fucking good.
So let's see. We got a final trailer. I don't think I've seen this trailer actually. Damn, there's a whole last Mandalorian trailer I haven't seen. Yeah, let me grab this real quick. Let's watch this too. I'm getting the clip, the little official clip with Grogu that you saw the GIF from, so we can look at that.
Yeah, it is in fact between
hello
there.
Welcome.
And what's his nuts? Carl Urban's character.
You know what's kind of cool is my parents went on their first date to see Tron, the original Tron, when it came out in theaters. That was the first movie they went to go see. And then when the new one came out, Tron Legacy, they definitely went to see that too. And I remember them saying they didn't like it very much.
It was very like for our generation, like even what's his name? Oh god, I have to look it up now. Dude from Bad Omens and Underworld, and he was one of the Volturi vampires in fucking Twilight.
Did you know that Underworld Rise of the Lycans was written by Danny McBride?
No fucking way.
No shit, look it up. Danny McBride wrote the screenplay for Underworld Rise of the Lycans.
Michael Sheen. He played fucking David Bowie essentially in Tron. He was the David Bowie club owner. God, he was fucking amazing too. His name was Castor. Dude, yeah.
I think the best performance of David Bowie, best depiction of David Bowie outside of Bowie himself, obviously, is definitely Jermaine. It's Jermaine Clements in Flight of the Conchords. Hands down. Is this a freaky dream? I'm David Bowie. No, he's so good. He's so good. All right, here's the official clip from The Mandalorian that came out like a week ago.
Now, as I was saying, there's a beautiful parcel available right down here by the flats.
I appreciate the offer, but I have some matters to look after.
Well, I'm confused. I thought you had completed your mission, but you're still running around here with the same little critter.
It's complicated. I completed my quest. He returned to me. I removed my helmet, and now I'm an apostate.
He wants the candy
Which
corn.
is all the more reason for you to stay here with us. Where you're from, you may be an apostate, but here, you'd be landed gentry.
Clearly that conversation's about to go somewhere else, and they were like, oh, I gotta cut it right here. Like that was,
it was
you'll
definitely
be landed gentry. That was half of a sentence. Like he definitely had something else he was about to say.
It was going to be a side mission. 100% it was going to be a side mission.
Well, he's offering him like a place to live. He wants him to stay here and settle. And I think the reason for that could be that he is now desperate for a new protector in the town because Marshal Cara Dune is no longer there.
Probably.
She may not be dead, but I think she's no longer going to be present. Like she's left the planet for reasons, you know?
For reasons.
I feel like they're going to be as vague about it as possible to leave their options open later. And we may not even get an explanation or even like, where's Cara Dune? Who knows? I don't think it might not even happen. You know, they might just forget about it. Just pretend it never happened, which would be weird. But I feel like that's one of the reasons that he's currently imploring Din Djarin to stay here and settle, you know, not just because they're BFFs, but also because maybe they're down a protector these days.
Oh, probably 100%. And then like, yeah, this is very much true from Kelsey.
Look at him, look at him spin. He just puts his little hand out.
His hand. Yeah.
Whee! Also, I am very intrigued. Who dat? Who's the bust? Who's the bust back there? That's got to be a person that we know, right?
I mean, it doesn't even necessarily need to be a person we know. We don't even know what planet they're on right now.
Just trying to like fill in the gaps in the blurs in that face with my mind right now. For some reason, it's turning into Lor San Tekka, like as an old man. But that doesn't even make sense because he's not even an old man yet. Right now, he looks something like Jude Law for some reason. But enough about that. I think that bust is going to be an Easter egg. We can't really get a good focus on it, but I think it's going to turn out to be a notable person that maybe we've heard of before. Maybe they're a book character. That would be a hard one to confirm, you know?
Yes. This would be a very good explanation. It'd be very easy to do. Or she could have been shot down. She could have died in a fight. Like, who knows? Who the fuck knows?
Exactly. And Star Wars is great about leaving things open-ended when they want to leave the door open to tell other stories in the future. Because maybe there will be some other sort of Cara Dune content that happens. My money would be on a book or a comic. Maybe someday they'll release a Cara Dune novel that'll explain what happened before or after Mando kind of thing.
They did it for Phasma.
They did it for fucking Asajj Ventress. They'll do it for anyone.
Oh, that's true. I mean,
Asajj Ventress is a much more beloved character than Captain Phasma. Actually, put those statements the other way around. Like, if Phasma can get a book, anyone can get a book. That would be pretty awesome if it was Lando, but I
don't think it was Lando. If anyone I thought it looked like Chancellor Valorum, which would make even less sense.
I thought Valorum too for a minute.
Former Chancellor Valorum, I should say.
This damn puppet has just like captured everyone's heart and soul, hearts and minds out here.
Jelly beans.
Like he most definitely still looks like a puppet. They're not making like a maximum effort to make him like lifelike and super realistic. Like they want him to look like a puppet because that's Star Wars. You know, you need a
they want it to look real and tangible, and I think
real enough that you can get into the moment for sure. But at the end of the day, they don't want it to be like, oh, how did they do that? Like, is it a creature? Like they want your brain to know it's a puppet at all times. That's why he's got a little bit of a wiggle in his hand when he picked that up. Like it's just a little bit. It's not as fluid as a real living creature, and that's on purpose. True. It's a stylistic choice. That's all I'm trying to say.
You think so? You think it's just like
totally, just like
it has gears, so it must move like it has gears?
I think that they've made a conscious effort the entire time to keep one foot in the old world. Like when they have CGI walkers in the background, they animate the CGI walkers to be a little bit stilted to make them look like they're stop motion, even though they have the ability to make them move super fluidly.
Mm-hmm.
They just try to line it up with like the production values and the stylistic decisions that were made in the original trilogy. And if they went with stop motion back then, they're going to have to go with really polished CGI that evokes stop motion now. You know what I mean?
Versus just keeping what they
Versus
were
just giving you versus just pushing the envelope and making it look as pretty and as newfangled as possible with the very latest of CGI. But they don't do that. They pull back a little bit to make it feel more like a spiritual succession to the originals, you know? Like, think about the Book of Boba Fett and the big ass monster with 4 arms, the Goro thing that beat him up. It totally had like this janky ass like stop motion kind of feel to it.
It had puppet arms, 100%.
They didn't want you to be like, oh wow, look at this awesome CGI. They wanted you to feel like you're watching Ray Harryhausen thing for a second. Like it felt old school, but still cool.
CGI, you know? Then they would just fall under the Hobbit problem. They would fall under the Desolation of Smog issue in the Battle of the Five Armies, where fucking nothing looks real and it looks like a goddamn World of Warcraft movie instead of what they were originally doing. You know, like
Battle of Five Armies looks like what Lord of the Rings looks like when I have too much cold medicine.
Exactly. But like at the end of the day, the Lord of the Rings trilogy is fucking amazing because all the costumes and all the creatures, for the most part, are practical effects.
Practical effects were the way to go for all of filmmaking history. It's always been that way. And then CGI started carrying the torch. But I don't think that there needs to be some sort of an all or nothing. I think CGI exists as a tool to enhance your practical effects.
I mean,
the best shots always are a blend. They're always a blend of all of those things.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, wouldn't using the volume count as that?
Yes and no. The volume, it really depends because, like Todd showed us, those sets they built for Kenobi when they were on Alderaan, they really physically built that entire room and they dressed the entire thing up. And the only thing the volume was doing was filling out the view out the windows. Yeah, but it was all physical in that space. So, like, just because something's filmed on the volume doesn't necessarily mean that it's like Sky Captain in the World of Tomorrow, where there was literally nothing physical. It was dudes standing on sets or sitting on like a single chair, and that was the whole movie. Like, no, it was very physical and very practical. I think that's kind of a common misconception, and the same thing is true of the prequel trilogy too. Everyone, like the whole meme of like my favorite sets and behind the scenes shots of the prequels, and it's just like a green screen, you know. It's like, bro, there were so many miniatures that were built for that. So many awesome practical things. Like
100%. We've seen the G
notion. Don't undersell it, you know?
Yeah.
We've seen it. Exactly. Do you think this season will be mostly about the 2 different ways of the Mandalorians? And do you think there's a bigger threat to this season? I'm sure of it. I think that Thrawn is looming over this whole thing. I think he has to be relevant to Mando's story as well as just Ahsoka's story. Or why would Ahsoka have name dropped him in Mando? You know,
because of her own story. And
I know it's kind of supposed to be setting up like the basic plot of like her show is going to be Ahsoka versus Thrawn, or Ahsoka searching for Ezra via searching for Thrawn. But at the same time, I think that Thrawn is going to come into the fold in this show as well. I think that he's too large of a character to relegate to a single show. I think that he's going to be making huge moves on the galactic scale that are going to be felt in all the shows that share a timeline. You know, if that makes sense.
Do you think
a little bit of the Marvel flavor, the way they do that?
I mean, that's fair, but then would that insinuate, or do you think that Thrawn and Gideon know each other?
Oh, 100%. 100%. I think it's kind of like the Nazis at the end of World War II. You bet that all the people that survived down in Argentina in like the hiding spots, they all knew who each other were, you know? Like once you're a former officer of like a lost side of the war that's been like banished from the galaxy, essentially, like I'm sure they know who the other survivors are that are out there because they have their secret back channels and like the little hidey holes and rendezvous and things that only they know to look through. I mean, like they were able to organize enough to create the remnant and establish strongholds, and they had enough people to crew them and staff them. So clearly they had some system of finding each other in secret after the war was done to allow them to evade people like Cara Dune, you know, rebel droppers who are out there doing like exterminations of any like remaining pockets of Imperials out there. I would love that. I would love if we got some like shot collar action with Gideon just being in a Republic prison, but still like calling the shots, seeing like the Imperial remnant have like a turncoat in there who's like funneling messages out or something totally grimy. I think we're going to get a prison break. Honestly, I think Gideon is not staying locked up for long.
Probably not. And then I think we're going to also see the Dark Troopers again.
That's exactly what I was about to say. If you think about it, the only thing that stopped them so far is Luke Skywalker. Like,
Yep.
Din Djarin took out one, but he got beat the fuck up first. And if he hadn't flushed them into space, they would have killed him for sure.
And he was only using his Beskar spear. He wasn't even using the Darksaber yet.
Well, just imagine if like a New Republic prison got swarmed with Dark Troopers. They'd definitely get overrun. Like the Dark Troopers could totally just like fight their way in and leave with Gideon. Probably no questions.
They had some pretty strong,
yep.
like, what's it called? The Sentinels from fucking X-Men. Like those punches were able to break through those doors less than like 30 minutes. So they were pretty intense. They were pretty intense.
They were awesome. They were very cool.
Could else be for Mando, really?
Well, potentially Bo-Katan, or maybe even the armor, if we decide that we're gonna have like a little Mando civil war briefly.
If we are focusing on purely the Mandos, that's true. There could be like a complete, like mini civil war moment between the two philosophies. I did see somewhere interestingly on Twitter that the two Mandos that we saw with the red and orange helmets were actually Lego figures. So like they were, we've previously somewhat seen them in a semi-canonical universe, but like this is the first time that those particular helmets get screen time.
Yeah, no, I think we saw that clan in Rebels briefly too. Or it's a different one.
Orange with the orange and white helmets.
Yeah, damn, what was their name? I'm blanking on the name of that clan now. But I think it's the same ones. Yeah, because one of the guys has a shoulder marking that's the same as the clan in the end of the Rebels episode where Sabine gives the Darksaber to Bo-Katan.
Yes.
Yeah, someone help me out in the chat. You guys remember the name of the clan? I just played
random Rebels reference that we're
I just played through the Runic episodes of the Star Wars: The Old Republic, so now I have all those Mando clan names rattling around in my head. I'm like, no, it's not Clan Varad. Shut up. But yeah, we also have a new trailer, and this is according to a YouTube channel that wasn't Disney, so I'm not sure if it's. Well, we'll see what's up.
Our people are scattered. Like stars in the galaxy. What are we? What do we stand for?
Then you are a Mandalorian no more.
This feels fan-made. Why would they use the Force theme?
Yep.
Nope, not doing it. That's not the real trailer. Let me find the real trailer real quick here.
But man, hearing that voice though, I guess one thing we can touch bases on, because we didn't touch base last week because fucking Valentine's Day, which I hope you and Hera were able to enjoy together at least. But The Last of Us, though, there's been a lot of shit happening with The Last of Us, and they just keep pulling the emotional punches one at a time. With
I've been enjoying it. They got me once. They're not going to get me again, though.
I don't know. Have you seen what day is today? It's Tuesday. So you saw this most recent one though, right?
Yeah, I'm all caught up.
Yeah. So HBO does the really awesome thing of like where they'll show you what next week's episode kind of is, sort of a deal.
I always end the episode as soon as the credits start because I don't want to see that stuff.
Okay, never mind.
I don't want to know.
I won't say shit. But
every week until this last week was the first time that we were introduced to characters that didn't die by the end of it.
Oh, because we got to see the commune. Also,
that's the very first episode of the six episodes in, and this is the first time that characters have been established and survived the episode.
That's fair. That's fair.
Up until now, everyone else has died except for the two main characters. So now they've gotten me in a state where when we meet people, I'm like, I don't care. I'll learn your name in like 4 episodes, bro. You're gonna be dead. Like all these people are gonna die.
American couple.
Everyone's gonna die.
Native American couple was great. Tommy.
Yeah, as soon as I met them, I was like, "Oh, you guys are gonna die."
Tommy's actor is doing a great job, like looking and sounding like he's related to Joel. Like the casting did a really great job with that.
Yeah, it's phenomenally well acted. They're doing a really, really good job. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, the whole cast is just knocking it out.
There were no infected.
Joel admitting that he's afraid is like a massive, absolute massive thing. But like, shout out to What's Her Nuts from True Blood, and I think a couple episodes of American Horror Story and Walking Dead.
Who?
Tommy's wife, the black lady who's also pregnant.
Was she? Oh, I didn't recognize her. I've seen Walking Dead. I guess I fell off before she showed up. Probably.
So she was only in one episode of The Walking Dead. She was in an episode of Michonne's backstory where they used to know each other, and then she ended up like kidnapping a bunch of kids from the commune and like semi brainwashing them and what's it called, child soldiering them, and then Michonne had to unfortunately kill some kids and like beat the shit out of some other kids, and then had to kill her old friend.
That sounds like The Walking Dead.
Tara,
unfortunately, we had to kill some
Tara,
kids.
dude. Tara from True Blood. Yeah, dude. She was great. She fucking hated vampires, and then unfortunately,
I never saw True Blood. But I know that Aiden Versio was also on True Blood. Janina Gavankar.
It was a pretty good show for like the first 3 seasons, and then it just got real fairy real quick.
It's a recap clip.
Like no hate to all the people who love fairy fantasy and fairy smut. I know there's a lot of you out there. I'm just not down for fucking were-tigers, you know.
What are you on about right now?
True Blood, dude. It's southern redneck vampires, and it's a great story. It's a great ride. But yeah, no. I was a one and done for True Blood. But Tara,
I never did watch it. But I know that it's one of those. It's got a cult following. You know,
it was fucking great. Yeah, no, everyone was.
Here's the recap.
Everyone was gorgeous. Everyone was gorgeous. Who's the D&D guy who's also in fucking Magic Mike, like the dancer? He was a fucking werewolf in the show, and that's kind of like what his whole.
You have strayed far beyond my expertise.
Yeah.
I don't know. These are all things that I haven't seen. But yeah, True Blood was on for a really long time, wasn't it? Didn't it run for ages?
The fairies and the werepanthers, man. Yeah, that was just some shit. Yeah, Joe Manganiello. Thank you.
Oh yeah. He the D&D guy. Okay, yeah, no, totally.
Sexy werewolf. Yeah,
married to Sofia Vergara, right?
He was a sexy werewolf. That was his bat. That was his.
Of course he was.
Yeah, that was.
He runs like a celebrity D&D game. I read some article about it once. That's hilarious. Okay, cool. Yeah,
Last of Us is the great. Recap of what?
Of Mando season 3. We got posted.
Gotcha.
Remember,
this is the way.
Began.
Mando!
What's your highest bounty?
There is one, Joe.
I thought he looked good in that outfit. He only rocked it for like one episode.
Foundling. By Creed,
2 episodes.
it is in your care.
Stop touching things.
You must reunite it with its own kind. An order of sorcerers called Jedi.
You stay right here. Oh, what the hell? Come on. If I can locate other Mandalorians,
He wants to watch too.
they can help guide me.
Get the child! No!
Oh my god, that was so stressful when they jumped him in the water.
I've been quested with returning this child to the Jedi.
I can lead you
Fuck
towards
yeah.
your kind.
We need to talk.
Oh my
It's about
god!
There aren't many Jedi left.
You know this is no place for a child.
R.I.P.
Wherever I
Razor
go.
Crest.
For all those fucking
He
spiders.
goes.
Right? The Marshal was an
If Grogu reaches out
all-timer
through the
episode of
Force,
Star Wars, man.
there's a
It's so
chance
good.
a Jedi may sense
Great
his
Dragon.
presence and come searching for him.
I will teach you to
That
protect
shit still
yourself.
gives me goosebumps.
The galaxy is a dangerous place.
Are you
Yes.
looking for work?
Boba Fett. Tell him it's on the
Wait,
house.
what? You mean
I will
Book of
give you
Boba
a
Fett
choice.
was a continuation
You
of
may
the
choose
Mando
the way
story?
of the Jedi,
You don't
or
say.
return to your friend, the Mandalorian.
Look who it is! Mando! Well, I got a surprise for you!
Hey, what are you doing here?
Din Djarin, have you ever removed your helmet?
I have.
Then you are a Mandalorian no more.
Well, from
Freaking
her
ass.
point of view.
How can I atone?
One may only be redeemed in the living waters beneath Mandalore.
All right, kid.
Her on the throne,
God,
bro.
yes.
Sure.
Give me all the lore. All the lore.
Oh, this is about to be stiff as pork. I'm glad that the music is getting
Fucking
increasingly weird
goosebumps,
as we
man.
get further into this new Mandoverse too.
Fucking goosebumps.
Like
Oh.
Book of Boba Fett really pushed it with their weird like Seven Dwarves humdy dum dum music, and since that was a hit, like because it was awesome, now they're like, okay, the door's wide open. Let's just get weird with it. I'm here for it. I want more weird space music. Ludwig Göransson has been killing it, and I heard that there's a new composer that's taking over after this season too. So hopefully it's something along the same lines because it might be kind of jarring if we get a whole new kind of music all of a sudden. I've really
Dude,
gotten used to it.
how beautiful the skyline is because I'm looking at the thumbnail for the trailer right now, and it's the scene of the two X-wings trying to catch after the Razor Crest through the clouds.
Yeah, I can find that.
It's so I forgot how absolutely beautiful that shot was and that scene was.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you're talking about. I miss the Razor Crest so much. There it is. There it is. Yeah, this
Like
shot
those
right here.
clouds. Look at those colors. Like, yeah, right. Oh God,
It's gorgeous.
So
And the fact
good.
that they used physical models for a lot of it too. This particular sequence might be CG, but a lot of it they actually did use. Remember, we saw that whole special about it when we were at Celebration. About how he built
just seeing the X-wings
he built the
again.
model in his garage and then just flew cameras past it. It was so cool.
But yeah,
Oh,
and like this was kind of the first time we got to see Highway Patrolman, you know, but like
Joseph Shirley,
Rebel
the new
was
composer.
great.
Okay. Yeah, it was cool seeing the New Republic X-Wings patrolling the skies, you know, from a position of power instead of like looking over their shoulders for Imperial patrols every 5 seconds. It's a different vibe. And then we got that sick remix of the March of the Resistance as they were flying away after rendering aid when in the spider cave.
Say again.
At the end of this same episode, when they show up and they save the day, shoot the spiders for Mando, and then when they roll out of there, you hear like a remix version of the March of the Resistance. Do you remember?
No, I don't remember that.
Oh, dude, it was so good. It was great. That was the episode Rick Famuyiwa directed, and his music choices were always like great. Yeah, there was really good music on the Prisoner episode too. He directed that one.
God, I love that costume so fucking much. I love the gray robes and the white sabers so fucking much.
I hear the Leku are going to be longer in the Ahsoka show. They've redesigned the headpiece. It's not going to be exactly the way it looks here. So
I heard
we'll have to
that
wait and see. God, the Marshal was so good.
The Crate Dragon. Was that season 2?
That was season 2, episode 1. Yep.
Wow.
That's how we came back to this.
Part of that I thought was like season 1. Oh, and the Jawas just completely destroyed his ride. Wow, that seems like so long ago. That's so weird.
Yeah, it really does. So much has happened since then in universe, you know. Paul Lee, who plays Tava, did a great stream here on YouTube on Sunday nights. Fun boxing Sundays. Oh, that's cool. Nice. Yeah, I have heard that he's active. He's active in the fan community. He's got his own YouTube channel and stuff. He was in another show, Kim's Convenience, that I heard was really good. I haven't actually seen that. Been meaning to check it out. I'm just trying to get to the new footage again.
How can I atone?
One may only.
All right, Sundari right there, the big dome.
I was gonna say that's also not the N1. That looks like a gauntlet.
Oh, that's definitely a gauntlet. Yeah, that's not the N1.
God, look at that decimated city, man. Oh, the throne. So that's not the same throne that Maul was lounging on. Whatever building.
No, I don't think this is Mandalore.
I know it's Mandalore, but I don't think.
No, I don't think it's Mandalore. I think it's one of the moons. Look at the green grass outside and the blue ocean. That does not look like a nuked planet. It does not line up with the shot of Sundari that we saw, unless it's like the other hemisphere of the planet was not damaged. But that doesn't line up with what Mayfeld said. He said the whole planet was turned to glass by the Empire.
Man, and she's just chilling
Why would they
there.
leave a little spot?
She's just chilling there, helmet off, not giving a fuck, and like Din's now on this semi-political religious crusade that he needs to talk to these living waters, and it's like, man, right? That's a background piece right there.
100%.
Bo-Katan just looking at you, just like, what?
Do you think we're getting more Anakin in this? Hayden Christensen came in for Kenobi. He filmed scenes. He could have easily filmed more in that same sequence. Like, they could have easily done this at the same time that they filmed the Reva flashbacks with the younglings, you know? And just sat on the footage to incorporate it into Mando season 3. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if we got Anakin in this. And I never would have said that before Kenobi. But now that that's in the cards, why not?
I kind of hope not, because it would be a huge distraction.
I mean, they show this is Mando though. They love to flex with their technology and their cameos. They gave us Luke, like, and they lingered on his face. I wouldn't be surprised if they decided to go there here.
Or it could be 501st clones. It could go either way.
It would be cool if we just got more 501st
clones. If it is Anakin, like, it would be so weird for him not to kill Grogu. You know, it would be way too weird for him to just like pass that by.
Well, we don't know that he just passes him by. Grogu could get like whisked away at the last second, you know, shoved in a bag and jumps out a window with some Jedi protector, or who knows what happens. I think he's going to come this close though. They're going to make it very exciting, you know. But why not? Why not Anakin? You know, he led the charge in here. We've got a shit ton of Jedi on this side of the door, holed up, obviously guarding something important, i.e. Grogu. Anakin's going to go where the Jedi are at.
Yeah. But he also could be held up fighting adults right now, too.
I don't doubt that we will see Anakin in Ahsoka. I just feel like the circumstance of Grogu's flashback is so extremely similar to the circumstance of Reva's flashback that it would behoove them to coordinate their resources and just have like knocked the whole thing out in one fell swoop, you know? So that Hayden Christensen only has to get suited up once, and he can film his spots for 3 different shows, you know?
Same could be said with Ewan McGregor.
Yeah, it's very possible. We could get Ewan McGregor back in this, but he was nowhere near the temple, so unless they have some other sort of flashback going on.
They had the whole training montage of Anakin and Kenobi doing the lightsaber duel in the temple.
No, I know, but I mean, for the upcoming Mando season 3 flashbacks we're getting with Grogu's story.
I'm talking about for the Ahsoka show.
Oh, well, yeah, no, it's possible. Well, sure, that's it's almost too wide to be able to speculate because we know so little. There's literally nothing that we can rule out at this point for the Ahsoka show. I don't imagine he's going to show up.
By using the Anakin logic that you're saying here, by using the Anakin logic of, he was in the suit, he was ready, like he could very easily do a scene here. I'm saying likewise with Kenobi, they could have used both of them for Ahsoka shots because they were also filming Ahsoka.
It's very possible, presuming that an Ahsoka shot takes place in the same location as a Kenobi shot. That's what I'm saying. This is literally where Reva's flashback happened, so they don't even have to change the set.
That's true.
That's what I mean. Like, so if there's a series of events in Ahsoka that happen to take place in a place where Kenobi's already been in costume, then the same thing would be true. That's what I'm saying here with Anakin. Just because it's another temple scene from the same goddamn time frame. It's Order 66, which we just keep rehashing and rehashing. We have a fascination with this. I know it's like one of the most important galactic events, the wiping out of the Jedi. But
it's a Holocaust event.
100%. It's an extermination. It's an extermination of a whole group. And I think that we have like a morbid fascination with it. And I count myself among those people. Like, I definitely am fascinated by it. And even though it's like terrible and sad and a tragedy, I'm like, yeah, show it to me again from another angle. Let me see it from another perspective. They give us what we want. We're such voyeurs. We just want to watch the death of the Jedi.
I was thinking of just like other base Delta Zero moments that we've seen, just like
sure too. I mean,
people the villains just absolutely desecrating planets here. But like we got to see the destruction of Terrace, which is always great. We got to see the destruction of Camino, which is really
Bad Batch, and that was a straight up base Delta Zero. It turns out because Admiral Rampart gave orders to fire on every goddamn populated city.
We didn't originally know.
We didn't see that. We just saw Topoka City go down, but like, damn.
Speaking of Bad Batch, as we sit upon the eve of Bad Batch, but the last 2 episodes that we've seen have been like very family based. Definitely been more reorienting like what it means for the unit to be a unit. Like
this last episode, sure, absolutely.
Really appreciated Tech and Omega's one-on-one moment of recognizing people come and go, people change their minds, and people react differently to ways that they react, and people make their choices, and
all you can do is try and respect or support them, And my lingering question from Bad Batch, and I think it's on everyone's mind, is who the hell is this? Who is this person that has stolen the Marauder?
A dick.
So my first thought was Hondo Onaka, and the reason I thought that was because the red puffy coat and the long hair, which I don't think is actually hair. I think it might be like
it looks like either feathers or totally a wig connected to the hat. Like it doesn't look like it's connected to a head in any.
And then I started thinking
they have like pale skin fingers.
This is a child. I think this is a child. And I think it's a human child, not a Weequay, because Weequay don't have human-looking hands. They're all knobbly. The way they run, the way they're small, the way the jacket seems like it's a little big for them,
Yeah.
The red and white combo with the fact that it's a thief also makes me think Dr. Aphra, but Dr. Aphra would be about 6 years old right now, so that doesn't work either.
Unless that character is 6 years old. Because, again, Omega's like, what, 14?
Yeah.
Hunter said it at some point. Or no, 14. That's Ellie. That's Ellie's age.
Fucking raccoon in my ceiling again.
Joel told Tommy that Ellie was 14. That's where that number came from. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if Omega was close to that age also. Fuck, man. Ellie having to use a gun.
Maybe someone just robbed Hondo and they're wearing his
Oh man, their relationship is just like it's amazing. Like again, I've never played the games for The Last of Us, but like purely from what we've seen on screen, their relationship is just like completely grown and evolved in like 3 to 4 episodes. I have no idea.
I mean, 3 months went by. They keep skipping a bunch of time.
That's true.
Like it's easy to just fill in the blanks in your head, I guess.
Which, if you played the video game, I'm sure they kind of like go more in depth of what those.
Right, I'm sure people that played the game have some idea of what happened in those 3 months better than we do.
Going back to who the fuck is this?
Could be Pietro. It could be. They brought Gungi back. I don't think any of the other younglings made it though. Boba would be interesting.
Do you think we will see this person, and do you think we'll see the Marauder again? I hope so. I hope so too. I love that ship, and they haven't gone on the streak, knock on wood, of blasting and destroying our favorite ships. So far, it's just been gone in 60 seconds. So there's a chance. There's a Nicolas Cage chance that we'll get our ship.
Oh man, it's true.
If it was Boba, there's no reason for him to steal a ship unless he was like abandoned or.
Well, that's my other question. What's the purpose of the stealing of this ship? Is this a crime of opportunity because a person is stranded and this ship is their only means off the planet? Or have they been sent here to steal this specific ship and they're working for someone? Is someone trying to do the Bad Batch under,
I doubt it.
I'm not sure if that's the case, but that's one possibility that I thought of is this more than a coincidence?
Yes. The fact that she wasn't willing to fucking put a little bit more effort into getting them a ride home and instead just
but that could literally just be Sid being lazy. That could be Sid being lazy though, What if it goes the wrong way and they decide that Sid is complicit and they confront her about it, and then it turns out she didn't have anything to do with it, but the bridge has been burnt,
Well, no, I'm not saying she had anything to do with their vehicle getting stolen. I'm saying her passe.
The chat is saying that.
Oh, gotcha. I was saying they're getting fed up with her just like not giving a shit and just
as well they should be, because she's being kind of like fast and loose with them and taking them for granted. Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. She's also like, she doesn't
Jeez.
have massive resources. Like, if she can't immediately come and get you, she can't immediately come and get you. There's nothing. It's not like she said, I'm not lifting a finger for this. She said, give me a couple days, let me see what I can do. And that probably is literally the best she can do. You know? I don't know why I find myself suddenly defending Sid. She's not a great person, but like in this specific scenario, I think it's reasonable that she can't drop what she's doing and come get them if her ship is like tied up on something, you know?
Or
we don't know the reason. We don't know the reason.
No, I don't know.
That would be gnarly. That would be so cold if this is her way of tying up loose ends. Like, no.
Tying up loose ends how? Or about what? Previous
getting rid of the Bad Batch.
But like, why would she need to get rid of the Bad Batch? Just because they're...
I don't know. They've become a liability somehow to her.
That's fair.
It's usually some sort of a... Well, actually, this is a very good point. Yeah, they have come back empty-handed every time that she sent them out so far. Yeah, Marauder is a really nice ship. Props to whoever this person actually is. They've got a nice ship now.
Instead of a swoop bike. I don't know.
Well, it wasn't even a swoop bike, dude. It was like a flatbed, like, cart thing for hauling equipment. It wasn't even like a proper vehicle. Like,
yeah, them coming back empty-handed. I mean, that is partially
like skating along on a hand truck or a forklift.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess their relationship can. Yeah, I guess the shit show kind of goes both ways on that one. But I don't know.
Well,
I don't know. Maybe we'll find out tonight.
I still think it's on her, even though yes, they failed to secure the items. I still think it's her sending them in there with bad info, bad intel. Like every single time, the shit's gone wrong because they didn't know what to expect, and it's things that she should have told them about, you know. And then she brushes it off every time.
I don't know. I'm hoping maybe we'll find out tonight, or maybe we'll actually get some fucking Cody Crosshair in answers. Fucking give up this lost, stop this lost bullshit. This who fucking made Lost? I don't even remember.
J.J. Abrams.
J.J. Abrams, Mister. I'm gonna put 5 different plot lines.
Yes,
and
shout out to Tech, talking about how he processes things differently, but still feels just as much as everyone else. I thought that was really beautiful. I thought it was great. Tech is not the first in Star Wars to be, I don't know, outwardly considered to be neurodivergent in that way. Niku from Star Wars Resistance also had, I'm pretty sure, at least one monologue explaining how he interpreted things differently to everyone else as well. And not a lot of people saw Resistance, so Niku kind of flew under the radar. He's out there as well. He's out there too. Unfortunately.
Yeah, it's.
Oh my god, yeah. If the chicken nugget run also comes up empty-handed, then they're totally screwed. Maybe they didn't get back with the nuggets safely. Wrecker ate them all, and now it's like that was the last straw. So Sid was like, "Damn it, that's it. I'm selling these guys up the river. I'm stealing their ship."
Maybe. Yeah, and now that my like brain buffers it more, like we haven't seen Crosshair in like 4 fucking episodes. So it's like we have no idea if he's gone AWOL also, or if he's still, you know, purely kissing ass. But Rampart got fired. Rampart straight up arrested. So technically Crosshair doesn't have a boss right now. So like,
well,
what the fuck?
My question is, so we still don't know more about the shadowy assassin. You know, we're calling him a Phase Zero Dark Trooper, but we don't really know if he acted alone and if Rampart had more than one of those guys. And now that Rampart is gone, also unconfirmed, they made a big public show of arresting him, but we don't know what happened behind closed doors, you know?
That's true.
Because Rampart obviously knows a lot about the plan. They can't just like throw him in jail. They either got to kill him or put him back in a useful place somewhere else quietly, you know? But depending on whether he still has access to his resources, maybe Crosshair is going to get hunted down by the rest of these Phase Zero Dark Troopers, and we're going to get like an assassin versus assassin fight. That would be dope. Also, I'm still waiting for Fennec Shand to reappear in this show and Cad Bane to reappear in this show.
True.
Cad Bane and Hunter have unfinished business, although we know that Hunter can't finish that business now that Boba Fett has finished it.
But I mean, Book of Boba Fett hasn't happened yet, so Cad Bane's very much alive still.
Right, but we don't. But what I'm saying is that like that kind of takes the gusto out of. Will Hunter finally get a chance to kill Cad Bane? You know, to get vengeance, but we know that he can't because he has to survive to fight Book of Boba Fett. You know,
Theoretically, I mean, same with does Fennec Shand ever pay Cad Bane back for all the fucking credits that flew out of the fucking where were they on Cloud City?
Yeah, he'll just show up in the trash compactor. They'll find him. Poor Rampart was so distraught over his betrayal of the Emperor that he took his own life. That's what they'll be saying on the Hollow News. Absolutely.
Like, yeah, Fennec Shand still even has a debt to Cad Bane.
It's true. They need to have round 2 because she lost him a lot of credits, and they really didn't register that at all when they saw each other in Book of Boba Fett. So maybe they are going to hash it out between now and then. So we could see that fight happen again too. I heard that the Last Jedi Royal Guards, the Praetorian Guards, are going to show up in Mando, not in Bad Batch. I also heard that Andy Serkis filmed scenes for another Star Wars show while he was down for Andor. So potentially we might get Snoke alongside Snoke's guards. Who knows?
Could you imagine? Or maybe it was something more fun, like he got to do some creature feature.
That would be cool. Or Kino Loy shows up post-trilogy. That would be
incredible. Could you imagine?
That would be so
actually find out. We actually find out
that he survived. No, we never will. We never will. We're never going to find out. And or season 2, we still won't find out.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hopefully people dragged his ass to the shore, you know.
Put him on a raft.
Yeah, the Book of Snoke. The Book of Snoke is going to be great.
It's more like the bottle of Snoke, but
I would watch it. I would like it if they made it like super complicated. Like we really, really root for him, and then we find out that he was actually in prison for doing something, like versus like just getting plucked off the street. Like it turns out he's actually a murderer, or like he actually did something, and now like he's changed. He's gone through this whole progression, but like it makes the audience have to sit with this really uncomfortable, complicated relationship with the main character that way. Like I love it when movies do that. Kino Loy, they could do that with Kino Loy, I think, and get away with it because Andy Serkis is such a good actor that he'd be able to deliver that in a way that just like it would work.
It's like that movie with like the people who break into the blind dude's house and you find out that the blind dude's actually like kidnapping people, but at the same time, it's like you don't want him to kill these fucking robbers.
Are you talking about fucking Zatoichi?
No, I'm talking about like Don't Speak.
Oh, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen that.
Yeah, but it's kind of along that same philosophy of like, you feel bad for like the initial character because they're like, oh man, he's just like this blind old man who he's just a Vietnam vet. But by the end of the movie, you're like, oh, this dude's a fucking terrible person. Like, I want no one to survive in this scenario now. Shit.
It's called Don't Speak.
Yeah. Because the dude has really great hearing.
Oh, Don't Breathe?
Or Don't Breathe. Yeah,
Ooh, there's a sequel coming out.
It already did.
Oh, it did? Was it not very good?
Oh, I don't remember. I didn't see it.
Oh, okay.
It was the same premises, though. Dude had a daughter, and then like people tried to break into his house again. And it's just like, man, just leave this blind dude alone.
You'd think they would have learned their lesson. Same with Taken. They keep fucking taking his daughter. Like, what the hell?
Oh man, Liam Neeson's no more, man.
Oh.
Want to look over the titles? I don't think we gotten the titles. I know that we've gotten a list of the different animation studios that are going to be pumping out episodes. So that fucking pumped me up because that just solidifies more of the idea that Vision Season 2 is on its way and being made.
Dude, it's coming this year. It's coming in May 4th.
Yeah, so there's 6 to 8 animation studios, which makes sense because there's only going to be 6 to 8 episodes in Season 2, which makes sense because we only had 6 to 8 in Season 1. But fuck, they were gorgeous. So,
yeah,
but these are different animation studios this time. So it's like, it's interesting to either A, see what the fresh blood has to say and like draw and put out, or B, if it's going to be like a second animation studio, but giving a sequel to like, what if we see the Ronin again? What if in his like, you know, rocket launching team making Gonk or not Gonk?
I would like to see a couple continuations.
Or like,
the Duel, the Ninth Jedi, a couple of them actually.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'd watch continuations of all of them. I even wanted a continuation of the Star Blazer one, the band. That was awesome.
Oh god, the Digimon pop band, yeah.
Star Waver, that's what it was. Star Waver, I liked it.
Fucking
I liked it.
Star Waver.
No, it was good. There was flavors of everything. You know, it was like a charcuterie. It's a little bit of everything.
It really was.
And hopefully that's what season 2 will be as well. I think we are just about out of time, actually. But thank you so much for watching,
joining us as always. Again, there is going to be one more podcast before Emerald City and before the beginning of the month.
Next week. So stay tuned.
So come hang out with us one more week before the true hype begins and the in-person shout-outs are going to be happening. So again, for all you local people who are going to be either watching the podcast currently or be watching later, send us a comment or a like if you are going to be at Emerald City, what you'll be cosplaying so that we know, you know, kind of what to look out for. Because kind of like what we did at Celebration, we'll probably be semi-live tweeting where we are on the floor, what we're looking at.
And if you haven't already, join our Discord, because that's where we're coordinating our meetup right now, is on the Discord. So if you're not part of our Discord server, please do so. Depending on where you're watching this, if you're watching on Twitch, there's a link to the Discord on the Twitch page. If you're on YouTube, there's a link in the description of the video. And if you're on Twitter, just go to the bio. There's a link there too. Awesome. Thank you so much for everybody. And as always, may the Force be with you.
And they use something they call pyroprocessing. The interesting thing is they call it pyroprocessing, but it's a molten salt process. They're dissolving this thing in a molten salt, and they're doing electrochemistry on it. Why don't they call it molten